So, I have news. You can see my CD player down there, slash MP3 player with like the iPod connector and whatnot is moved. And whoa, I did not want to go into that really weird mode. Anyways, the cord is plugged into this thing. What could this be, you might ask? Well, I mean, take a look at it. It's a cassette deck. And there's a cassette tape right here. And there's also a cassette tape right here. I'm going to put that cassette tape in here. I'm going to hit play. Hoping that it'll play and hoping that I didn't press the pause button. Okay. Enough of that song because I don't want to get copyrighted. That is AC/DC. I think it's You Shook Me All Night Long. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. That's AC/DC. You Shook Me All Night Long. That's what that song is. If you want to look it up, that obviously sounds perfectly timed and whatnot. And you might not be suspecting anything because it's all put back together. You know, maybe like 2 screwdrivers or 3 screwdrivers there. I mean, 4 actually. And 1 screwdriver here. But it doesn't really look all that suspecting. And I have more tools down there. Can you suspect what I just finished doing? I fixed it. Here's what was wrong with it. It wouldn't, it would just barely manage to fast forward and do it extremely slow, and it sounded like the stuff inside was kind of wonky. And rewinding was a no-go. Like, it just wouldn't do anything, and then it would stop trying to rewind, because it obviously wasn't. And that's because, and also due to the fact that, I wish I didn't have this thing apart, but on the other side of all of this, there's a bunch of belts, and there's like an entire belt system that links one motor, that's right about here, between the play, and like a bunch of other mechanisms to do play, fast forward, and reverse, and all that other stuff for this. And only this side has pause for some reason, and record, which is another reason why I wanted to get this cassette deck. Now, I bought this used and broken, knowing that it was, the stuff wasn't working. Oh. Right. Okay. So, this unit was originally $25 at a store that I went to. This was the Eclectic Chick down in Oneida. I can no longer go there, and rest in peace the days of going to the Eclectic Chick. I will miss you. That was a great antique store. I love that antique store. That was a great place. That's where I got this thing right here. A bunch of other stuff I have in my room. You can see dual cassette deck 1989 to 91. So obviously this thing has age on it and it's been used. Now, that's supposed to be plays. They just got a typo there. Plays fine, but the fast forward in deck A not working. Oh, right. So that's deck A and that's deck B. Now, by the time I had gotten it, 2 belts that do the fast forwarding and rewind were loose, like really loose, like insanely, incredibly loose. And that results in, there's like a little like drive wheel with like a gear on the other side that's connected to that belt. When you hit fast forward, there's a little mechanism that pushes it to fast forward. When the belt is loose, it can't really grip onto there. And when it's rewind, it'll put slack in the belt, but the belt's supposed to help just drag it over. And obviously because the belt was loose, it couldn't do that. So rewind was no-go on both of these. But I paid, or it said the belts were loose, so I bought this knowing that the belts were loose. That's the only reason why I bought it, knowing that I could probably fix it. Now, I shouldn't say that's the only reason why I bought it. I bought it because I want to use cassettes, because my friend got me into cassettes. And there is, oh geez, we're already going on 14 minutes in this video. I have got to learn to talk, like, quickly. Anyways, I also wanted to record my own cassettes to have like my favorite songs on the cassettes, because I just thought that would be kind of cool. And what you can do is, I know I might be wrong about this, just from what I've heard and what my friend does, I think is, according to him, is when you put a little piece of tape in here, there is, on the inside of this deck, oh, of course you can't see it, I gotta get a flashlight, hold on. Hold, please. There is, let's see here, kind of where that little notch is right in the middle of the screen there. That's a little switch that presses into the cassette here on this little notch right here. So when you put tape over there, that switch gets pressed, and when on recordable cassettes there isn't a little notch there. So when that switch gets pressed, you're able to record stuff. I don't know, but I think you can record on these cassettes. If you just put a little piece of tape over there, you can record over what's already on there. So what I can do is just buy a random cheap cassette deck, like a kind of cassette I don't care about. Pop it in here, and I think I can record over. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. But I wanted to be able to record my own cassettes, so that's kind of what I was saying before. I bought this because I could fix it, and I wanted to record my own cassettes, and I also wanted to listen to cassettes. In doing so, I'm not a full-on rock and roll person, just my dad got me into it when I was little, and still, I like it. There's AC/DC I like, and then Scorpions, and there's, like, No One Like You on this side. That's all I really know on this cassette. I wish I didn't drop that. But all the other songs I don't know, but, you know, I might get into them. There's Back in Black on AC/DC, which I like that song. There's You Shook Me All Night Long, which is a pretty good song. I don't know any of these songs. I bet I've heard them before. I don't know. There's Hell's Bells. I've heard that before. Shoot the Thrill I don't really like, but I don't know what that is. I think I've seen that song, but whatever. But anyways, going on. I keep forgetting and I keep getting off track of what I'm saying. Anyways, what I did, you can see the screwdrivers there and whatnot. I just finished kind of putting it back together again. I replaced both the belts, and I already had belts. I didn't have to order belts because I sacrificed two kind of mini hi-fi units. Mini hi-fi units, just like an amplifier, CD, cassette, MP3, radio, this, that, blah, 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 unit all in one, and they're typically small, and they go with speakers like that speaker up there, and then that speaker up there. Now, actually, the hi-fi unit amplifier thing that for those speakers is one of the ones I sacrificed, because it had a cassette deck in there, and it had one good belt, and there was only one cassette deck in there, so that had a good belt. And there's another one I had that I got a while back that had two cassette decks, but only one of their belts was good, so I used the belts off of both of those units. I put them in here. Fast forward and rewind work on both the decks now. And another side effect thing I noticed that was a problem with this when I had it apart was that the speed was low. Like the songs would kind of go through and they were slow sounding. They were pitched down. So after seeing like, oh, I did the belts and whatnot, and realizing that that there wasn't something wrong with the gears, and the normal drive belt wasn't loose. That was like perfectly nice and strong. I then dove into the awful experience of trying to figure out how exactly to speed up the motor, and whatnot. Now, I saw a video on there's like a little hole in the back of the motor. You can stick a screwdriver in, adjust the gearing, and then you're good to go. On mine, it did have that hole, but I just couldn't really get to a screw. So I followed the power leads back onto the board where there was two potentiometers, which are just basically like a little, like glorified knob like this. So let's say like this was perfect speed, right? That's too slow. That's too high of speed. And this isn't controlling that. This is just, I'm just using this thing as an example. But a potentiometer is just like basically the switch mechanism thing used for something like that. It's called a potentiometer. It just kind of variates the current going through. But I was able to adjust that pretty much perfectly, so now the songs are perfectly pitched. As when I played the song earlier for the AC/DC song, it was like perfectly matched up. Everything was great. So I was able to figure out all that, on top of breaking things and fixing them and breaking them and fixing them with this thing while taking it apart, such as like when I took it apart, this deck wouldn't open, then it wouldn't stop some stuff, like the eject button and stop button just wouldn't do stuff, and I fixed that. I did this, I did that. I cleaned off the heads in here. If you can see that thing right there, that is what reads the cassettes, as well as that little kind of dark wheel right there. I Now let me see if I can provide some more light so you can actually see. So that big wheel right in the middle, that's the main thing that touches cassettes, and I cleaned that off, as well as that little kind of metal rod in there. I did that on both sides of the deck, cleaned that off, cleaned any other things that be touching the cassettes, and I cleaned off those. Those are just a good thing to clean sometimes. So I cleaned that off on both the deck sides, and now I have a working cassette deck. And from what the research I saw, I was seeing that I saw that. Whoa, sorry. I saw that these cassette decks, these JVC TDs -W106, these were selling for like about $60, I think, in working condition and okay-ish shape. Mine is seen some better days. It has scuffs right there, probably from being in some sort of wreck or something. There's a ton of scratches on the back that you can't really see, but mine has seen better days. But you know, I got a working cassette deck now, and I'm happy. And I'm gonna try to fit it now down here. That CD player, I think I'm gonna kind of boot out of there. I have CDs that I like to listen to, so either I'm gonna find a new CD player, get rid of that one because that one's just kind of big and whatnot, or I might put it down there where there's like that Corvette RC car, or that one. I don't know. But what I'm going to do, and here's like an update on the system here for the amplifier and the EQ and whatnot for my speakers. I'm gonna have that there. I'm gonna hopefully getting a VHS player for my friend. Maybe I might get that back. It's the same friend that showed me or got me into cassettes. So I can play some VHSs, because I have that CRT TV in there. I have another one in a box that I don't really use. That CRT TV has a VHS player in it. All the way back in there, all that kind of crap is laying on, there's another big TV. So I might get that set up here. I'll hopefully have like my Xbox 360 in here and Wii and whatnot. So that's gonna be like an all media center kind of. So I'm gonna have like all my cool stuff right here. Obviously I'm gonna try to split up the racks and whatnot, because I only have like one shelf thing with these little kind of bracket things here, and that's holding all of that. So I think I'm gonna end up splitting some stuff off so it can all be held up nice and well. Anyways, sorry if I lost you during that entire video. I'm hoping I still have at least some of the viewers watching. But yeah, so I fixed this cassette deck. If you want one last look at it, here's what it looks like. Another thing it has is this cool little, I'm gonna pop in a cassette here so you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm not gonna play the audio of it because I don't really need to. Look at that. I think that looks pretty cool. That isn't like stereo audio. It like goes through mono, even though there's like 2 bars here. You know, it's okay. But there's that as well. So yeah, I'm happy. Thanks for watching. Just wanted to make a little announcement. I know it's probably not super great that you're not able to see it, whatnot. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. Sorry it was long. Yeah, see you guys next time.